Brought to you in part by Food Service Consultants Society International, the Americas. Visit us at fcsi.org to find the best food service consulting experts.
This episode is brought to you in part by the National Restaurant Association.
Welcome back to another episode of Rock My Restaurant, here again at the 2014 NRA show, joined again by my co-host Bill Bender.
Morning.
We also have two guests with us, Kevin Fink with Ice-O-Matic and Nate Jackson with Scotsman Ice. We're shifting gears and going back into the equipment side of thing now, so welcome, gentlemen. We look forward to speaking with you. I guess we'll start off with a couple questions, kind of an overview. When a new customer or a new client is looking to get an ice machine, what are some of the things that you would recommend up front? You know, obviously sizing, that type of thing. Where are the resources? How do these people, without going to a consultant, where should they go to get some information about ice machines and sizing and things like that?
Well, I think Ali Group's a great place to start with Scotsman and Ice-O-Matic.
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah. Obviously, there's a lot of different variables and factors into people deciding what's right for them. And, I think you got to take a look at a couple of things. Specifically, one of the things that both our brands offer is a wide assortment of ice forms. On the Scotsman side specifically, we've been the innovator in the past. We're the ones that created nugget ice that you see in a lot of different applications now. And then obviously you have cubed ice, larger varying sizes of that. And that's one of the first things that you need to discuss with a customer.
Sure.
There's obviously other things related to application on the energy side as well as water consumption, and those things are important aspects too. And
so sustainability is a factor that comes into a lot of decisions that
no
are
doubt.
out there.
And with
Right.
the Ali Group, with our two brands, obviously we have a wide assortment of solutions, and some of them are unique to Ice-O-Matic, some of them to Scotsman.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. I mean, when you work with the Ali Group companies with Scotsman and Ice-O-Matic, we have the broadest range of ice machines out there. So regardless of the type ice you're looking for, as Nate was referring to a few minutes ago, how large or how small a machine, sizing it to what you're looking for, and making sure that your beverage products are absolutely top shelf. You want to make sure you got the right ice in the right quantities.
Kevin, that's a good point, because ice, there are a lot of variables in ice, because our viewers at Rock My Restaurant maybe not be aware of how many variables there are. There's the size of cube, the shape of cube. I know about the nugget with Scotsman, and of course, depending on if you're a bar brand or just maybe a dining room, you might want a different size ice cube or a shape of cube that could impact your products, right?
Absolutely, and what's really interesting to us is people, in the last 10 years, there's been this revolution, if you will, that people have gone from, there's something in my glass making my drink cold, to a lot more care and attention on size and shape and presentation and how it's designed. So you take something that people often take for granted and don't think about unless they don't have it.
Right.
And now it's a critical decision when you're laying out a restaurant or a food service establishment.
Sure, and with the trend of high quality cocktails, people are more than ever, I think, aware of how the ice affects the overall product. With those cocktails, have you guys had to make some changes in the style of ice that's produced and what the client actually receives?
Well, certainly what we've seen with the mixologists coming into vogue, so to speak, now is that the larger cube has been very high in demand over the course of the last couple of years. The challenge associated with that is being able to develop something like that meets the customer needs while still performing at that energy and water usage level that is required in the marketplace, and that's why we think that we have the expertise to deliver those kind of solutions.
That's a great point, Nate, because 40 years ago when I was a bar manager and ran bars, and you threw the ice from the ice machine into the ice bin or into your well, and that was all you did. Well, nowadays we might want to have 3 types of ice at a bar service. A divider, whether I have a nugget ice, I might have a chip ice, I might have a round shaped cube or a square cube that's larger size, because they all impact drink flavors. And that kind of gets back to the menu, Eric, of crafted cocktails and mixologists, all the creativeness that's out there in the industry now. They really have to be considered when we're planning a restaurant.
And our two brands, we obviously have always been acutely aware of it, but I think it's become more and more, there's been more and more awareness in the marketplace that ice is another food ingredient. It is food.
It is
and with that, obviously, the importance of somebody who can deliver that to the marketplace in a thoughtful, serious manner ensures that the quality of their products is consistent across the board.
And with it being considered another food, would you guys have any advice for a operator in regards to things to avoid or pitfalls that they may have, mistakes that they could be made that we could help them out with?
I think a critical thing, regardless of whose machine you have, take care of it, clean it, and again, like the forgotten food that Nate was referring to a minute ago, what people need to think about it as a food. Means they need to keep their ice machine as clean as they do any other piece of equipment in the kitchen, and make sure that they give it proper maintenance. The lives on these pieces of equipment have extended much longer than they used to be. I mean, ice machines used to be notoriously unreliable, but with a little maintenance and proper cleaning, these machines, that people can get 10 years out of them pretty easily or longer.
And I think water quality is important, because you could have the best ice machine in the world, but if the water that's coming into it is poor, it's not going to be a quality product that comes out of it. So
good point, Eric.
Water filtration.
Yeah, that's a great point. I look at how I go into restaurants that are already built sometime, guys, and you see where the ice machine is placed. They have it right up against the back wall. There's no airflow around it. The vents are clogged off. A lot of times they have things hanging or boxes sitting on top of units where where the airflow should be.
Right.
And you look at that, it just is cutting in half the life of the unit, I think. And we've talked about in our past shows the total cost of ownership.
Oh, absolutely.
Right, and how that can impact it. So some of your tips, you're able to provide some of the users or operators out there some tips on these type of things with your continuing education, with like FCSI training or with user training, right?
Absolutely, they're critical for us. Both of our companies do a tremendous amount of training at the dealer level, at the operator level, and the service training level to make sure that people get it. And you hit on a couple of big ones. Without the proper airflow, one not only will the machine not last as long, they won't get the quality and the production out of the ice machine that they need, and it greatly diminishes the life and throughput. So, as everybody that's going to watch this knows, beverages are the most profitable segment or products on a menu. So to have good ice and be able to sell those and facilitate the sale of those beverages is absolutely critical for us.
One other point, Eric, is the nugget ice that Scotsman has is a lot of times, I've been in a hot weather climate. You're in Florida, you're in Arizona. We were just in Arizona a few weeks ago at the FCSI conference that you chaired, and a great job you did. But when you go into a convenience store and you see nugget ice, that is a marketing decision to me. That is like, I want to get that drink because it cools my drink down fast, and I enjoy chewing the ice on it. So it's really a nice point of your company, I think. Nate.
Yeah, and I think that's right. I think especially in that C-store marketplace, what we're seeing more and more of an established trend is they want to be the destination for beverages. So quite frankly, what we're seeing is multiple ice forms being put on the same beverage dispense line, which obviously affords more opportunity for us, but again, kind of underscores that point that they want to be the destination and they want to have the proper choices, not only on all kinds of drink offering, but also the ice form being an important part of that as well.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Yeah, I think it's an important decision. Like you said, ice is an ingredient, and that gets back to really, if it's an ingredient, it really is part of the menu. So it needs a lot of care and concern to think about that, right, when we do it.
Well, thank you for joining us, gentlemen. We
Thank you.
appreciate your time.
Thank you, guys.
And thanks for watching Rock My Restaurant.
Very good.